Welcome back to ulti.TV's coverage of EMUCC, the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships here from Wrocław in Poland. And it's the Poles Uprising against Silence version 3.3 from the Czech Republic. And the Poles starting on offense here, wearing the white, putting it deep there, and there is going to be a foul call. And we'll see the two sides talk this one out.
The second Open Masters game that we're streaming today. We do have 2 more days of streaming ready for you for free on the ulti.TV YouTube channel. But as of now, we will have a Slavic derby after several
Germanic
derbies.
Yeah, a little more Eastern flavour to this one.
As the disc gets tapped back in.
On the near side, right in front of our camera, is Golosicek. Looking for an option now, motoring up the line from Vrobel. Vrobel might shoot for goal here. He's going to for the back corner. Immaculate footwork from the Poles. A clean hold to begin this first point. And they're going to take a 1-0 lead here over Silence. I must say, as I am for all our games, but this one, I think, could shape up to be a real cracker.
Of course, being a Czech myself, I would be hoping for a slightly less exciting game, and I hope so are the fans at home in the Czech Republic cheering up for this Czech team. I do believe the Czech teams in both the Masters and Grandmasters category are quite the favorites here, as they have been building their Masters program for a while, and also for many of these players still actively participating in the Czech League and being part of the bigger European club programs out of the Czech Republic, such as FUI.
I was going to say, so thinking about those teams like FUI, Terrible Monkeys, there's some team from
That's
somewhere
about it
called
for now.
Budweiss.
Oh, 3SV.
No, must be them, I guess.
I'll have a story for you later regarding 3SB, but back to the action on the field right now. We have 3 handlers set up, working through the Polish zone. Halamka now passing the disc. One of the FUI guys, but home team of Chlupatá Žaba. Shout out to this tiny town of Slatiňany, where the team is based.
There's quite a large and loud, vociferous home sideline and support, and the Czechs will be aiming to silence that here today. No, you're not allowing that? I thought that was all right.
Now, again, very patient Czech offense working through the zone. Halamka with the disc again, finds Bachta. Bachta, of course, of the leftovers who are trying to make their mark in the mixed division. Quite a stable on the European scene. Řezník now on the sideline. Srp working with a wobble catch, but he saves it. The Czechs progressing very slowly, but rather steadily.
All that flutterguts practice that the veterans like to play coming in handy.
Glacek now trying to get the disc back in the middle, and he will. A father-to-be. Sometimes in August, as Halamka chases down the disc and finds Řezník immediately. Glacek on the far sideline goes for the brick. And a quick pop to Srp in the end zone. Breusel with the assist. Quite a lengthy point, but good steady offense out of silence, not too disturbed by the Polish zone, but a great job by the Poles to slow down that silence offense.
With the exception of the one fumble that they brilliantly recovered.
Correct.
Yeah, good clean start there for the Czechs, much as their Polish opponents had, and that certainly bodes well, I think.
Just to bring back some of the Czech ultimate history, or use my knowledge of the local scene. Silence used to be the open, so to speak, local men's team that competed internationally, participating in WCC 2010. With a base of players from Prague Devils and FUI as well.
Where was WCC in 2010?
In Prague.
It was indeed.
So both of these Masters and Grandmasters teams sort of trying to go back to that tradition of solid open teams from the Czech Republic competing internationally, and a stall-out called on the field.
Yeah, the stall-out's called, so put it deep. But I think actually, I'm not sure that this stall-out is going to be contested in the end. Anyway, this is the third and final game for both of these sides so far. Silence won 15-12 against XL this morning, and 15-13 against the Wizards of Geneva Grand Cru in their afternoon game, whereas for Uprising, a 15-10 win over Goldfingers in the morning, and I do not have the score of their game against Volpatinga, but that has also happened today.
So Silence with an early chance to break. Boška will use his handler skills to get the disc moving, and they easily find an open side cut for the first break in the game.
Silence getting the noses in front here. Again, you can tell that it's going to be, it feels like it's going to be that sort of game where it's kind of nip and tuck the whole contest, unless, you know, maybe a team can string a good run together, and actually, mentally, that kind of rocks their opponents. But you'd expect with players of this vintage, they've seen it all before.
I agree. Impressive spirit there, though, from Kolodziejczyk, number 29 on the Uprising team, admitting to the stall out or confirming the stall out and giving this chance to the Silence Masters team. We see again Pavel Urban in front of the end zone, finding Vitfiela for the score. And the next pull goes out of bounds to be brought back in at the break mark.
So just going to see who's going to stride over to pick it up. That looks like Grzbita. Nice underneath cut there to initiate possession in the hands of Tomczuk. Tomczuk goes back to
Grzegorowski.
Thank you, Grzegorowski. Underneath, and the put comes from Grzbita, and it's too far out of the back. Couldn't be reeled in. So, another break opportunity now perhaps for Silence.
Good look from Grzbita there, but again, we've seen it multiple times on the stream now. That corner is just a difficult place to place the disc in, and Silence's D-line picks up again with Srp bringing the disc to the front of the end zone. He finds wide open player on the other side. Vosicek now with the disc. He's gonna rip it. And there's number 91, Lukáš Adam, underneath it. I will have a great story about him for one of the timeouts or the halftime. A former 15-year-ago 3SB player, Benji.
Interesting. He is from your hometown?
He is from my hometown, and he brought me here by car. And when I sat in the car, I didn't know who he was. And later, I remembered. But you will hear what I remembered. Stay tuned. You have to keep watching to hear what I thought.
He started playing apparently because he was too fat and he needed to lose some weight. Which, I'll be honest, I've tried that. It didn't work for me, but if it works for you, more power.
And a nice deep cut there from Uprising. Just really close to the sideline and a difficult space to throw it into.
Underneath pass comes into the hands of Grzegorowski. Trying to squeeze that one down the sideline. There was never really a window there.
Vosicek will bring the disc to where it left the field. This time a member of Kulatá Šachovnice, a team from Hradec Králové, which is actually sort of the closest to the Polish border. Bouška now back to Vosicek, Vosicek to Urban. Bouška with the high release over the top, back to Vosicek. He's looking for the break, nothing there. They'll keep swinging it. Bouška waiting for the break opportunity to open up. Nice job there with the force middle defense out of the Polish. And now Vosicek finally finds a wide open Prague Devils player who goes under the nickname of Kopr.
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 What, pray tell, is Kopr?
What?
What does it mean?
Oh, that is a hard... Wait, dill.
Dill.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So another break from Silence.
What we're seeing here is the risk of that force middle. It's good because you're trying to funnel everything into that tight, congested area. But if you can get cutters to time that movement correctly with the way the disc swings, you can occasionally catch those players on the wrong side. And there, just the nice throw to the space towards the back corner is a way to open that up. I feel the force middle works really well, especially when you're very communicative downfield. A, to make sure that you always know which way the force is. And B, so if needs be, you can have someone just either switch or flash into that space that you've temporarily left uncovered to stop any gaps appearing.
And Silence staying with most of the same defensive line.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Arrowhead look from the Silence defense. The Poles, who haven't scored since the first point of this game, looking to stop a 3-point run here for the Czechs, trying to work against, as we mentioned, this arrowhead look from their Czech opponents. Kolodzyczyk doing most of the orchestrating at the moment. Happy to go every other. There's a nice swing available here that he's going to take into the hands of Frobel. Back to Kolodzyczyk. Oh, a little bit of an adjustment there, but Dishko did very well to reel it in. Finds the option in the centre. Milanovic. Nice thread through there. We're off to the races now. Grzyzikowski into the centre. His pass for Frobel is incomplete. So another break opportunity for the Czechs. They could put a lot of distance between themselves and their Slavic neighbours early here.
Boška to Kopčeva. Kopčeva back to Boška and goes for the apply immediately. Urban asking for the breakthrough so that he doesn't have to outrun his defender to the open side. They finally find Fiala on the sideline. Another Prague Devils player centers to Kopčeva, moves it to Urban for the swing. Boška now on the other side in a perfect position to huck it. If only they offered the right cuts. Urban. Boška takes the timeout early.
You know what, with a chance to build a 3-point lead, not even 15 minutes into this game, I think I'd take the timeout there as well. And speaking of taking a timeout, we're going to do that in the booth because evidently I cannot get my words out. But don't worry, because we'll be right back after these messages.
Side Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
So if you, like me, think that London Invite thing sounds a little bit good, well, you can buy tickets to watch it in person in the link in the video description, or alternatively, if you can't make it there, you can watch it live on ulti.TV. Aren't we good to you sometimes?
Back to the field where Silence stands with another opportunity to break through Uprising. Polish opponent. Boška in a perfect position in the middle of the field with a disc in his hand. Pops it over to Urban, who moves it quickly back to him in a very low grab. I think it touched the ground, but it wasn't the ground, it was the shoe of Urban.
Either way, they're happy to continue.
Fiala now. We hear the sideline making sure that the players come a lot closer and try to pop through the defense that is standing in between them and the disc, and a hammer goes up for Fiala. Can he get there? No, Milanovic stands in the way, and Pavel Milanovic, definitely not a defender that you can
take for granted.
Take for granted, exactly.
Yeah, Milanovic did a brilliant job there. 7 times Polish champion across various fields and divisions.
And 2 times 5th at EUCF with Flow. So a skilled mixed player as well.
Yeah, and also he's played, before he played Ultimate, he played volleyball and basketball, and you could see there that almost spiking ability to get up and either, you know, dunk it over the net or into the basket.
100%. Kolodzyczyk.
Working their way through nicely here, the Poles. Again, just trying to reset. There's an option for that swing. They have to take it to Frobel, and indeed they do. Frobel looks underneath, but they're just going to holster this for now.
Ooh, a cheeky scooper from Frobel.
A little bit saucy there, but dealt with confidently enough. Now they're trying to get it in the teeth to Dishko. Again, it's like a little bit of a chess match at this point. I wonder if silence will end up ruining that decision to put the hammer, as this is a shot down the far sideline for Uprising, and it's going to work as well with Grozhivsky with the catch for 3-2.
Fiala got there quite early. He chased it down, but his Polish opponent just had his eyes on the disc the entire time and was in quite a better position, and eventually catches the disc just one hand. Grzywalski, was it?
I think it was.
So let's learn something about Stanisław Grzywalski.
Apparently he's a Pokemon champion. I don't know what qualifies as that, but I'm interested.
It's just getting him a lot of junior and adult fans around the world, surely.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Also, his it's a little bit sweary, his descriptor, which I appreciated, but it meant that some of it I cannot repeat on air.
Plays with Emja and Moira in Warsaw.
And has represented Polish national teams on a couple of occasions as well, in mixed in Copenhagen for EUC 2015 and Open in London and Jura.
Glacek with a deep shot into the end zone, finds Filip Halamka, one of the FUI captains that has been featured last week in Vienna, before that at Elite Invite with FUI, and now he's shining on the stream here in Wrocław in the Masters division. Great connection there, great throw from Glacek, a husband of my teammate Teresa. Buresheva, now Glackova, now pregnant with their baby, surely watching at home together with their dog that is a chocolate color, and his name is Loisa.
What sort of dog are we talking?
What is that, flat-coated retriever? Flat-coated retriever.
Sure,
Loisa.
sounds lovely.
He is big and he is fun. I'm sure he's watching as well. And you know, we're losing Terka for a season, but we're gaining one more ultimate champion eventually.
What? The dog. I jest. Here's Uprising back on offense as that ball does eventually work its way back inbounds, and Kolikowski centers. Working through. That goes down the far sideline. This is going to be some snag if it's made. Hello. What a grab that is. Just trying to see exactly who that is because he's got his back turned.
He will get the praise eventually.
It might be Kolek, I think.
What an incredible grab. Let's see that again. This goes up.
It's a trust ball, let's be honest. It's give your receiver a chance to make a play, and boy, is that play made by Kolek, who climbs the ladder and skies his opponent for the 4-3 goal, but is out of bounds.
Oh no, oh.
I know,
I see.
So cruel. I wondered why there wasn't a bit more fanfare for it.
Super, super cruel. Langmeier now.
Was too busy watching the replay.
Centering to Boschka. Doesn't get the deep shot off. Urban now.
Still, it made for a good highlight.
Tomaszek finds Urban. Lots of resets there from the silence offense. Boschka now against, centered with the disc. And here's Adam. Centering to Boschka again. Boschka really getting every second disc here. Oh, and he tries to go for the cheeky inside, but the Polish defender ready for it.
Yeah, it's Wisniewski who managed to get a hand in there to disrupt it. I felt like there might have been a bit of contact, but both sides are happy for it to continue. And well, looking for that deep shot again, but this time Jagorowski is there to pick it off. And it's not the first time Kolikowski has looked deep, but it hasn't really paid off for him so far, as this one is ripped deep.
And Vosicek with an incredible deep shot, just shy of the end zone. And they do reel it in. That is Lukasz Adam with the score, and I have to say it now or never. He is the guy who has caused me to play Ultimate. I found out yesterday.
So it's his fault.
It's his fault. everyone who loves me can go and give him a hug, and everyone who hates me can just find him and, you know, punch him or whatever. But I found out yesterday in the car after about an hour of conversation that this is the guy that has put up a flyer in my high school that I saw, and that caused me to come to training and eventually start training with 3SB. And I stuck around long enough to bring the team all the way to the successful heights that they have reached so far. So thank you again, Lukáš, Adam, and congrats on the score.
Also, hello to my friends back in the UK who are watching. Hope they are all doing well. It's been far too long since I've been stuck on the remote peninsula where I live. So at some point I will definitely make more efforts to be more of a person and come and see you. But at the meantime, hopefully the sound of my voice on some top quality Ultimate will be enough, as that pool from Silence is going to land out of bounds. So Uprising will get the chance to bring it in to the brick mark.
We've seen very little so far of the Silence offense, as they have a clear division between the O and D line, and they just rotate only a few people on the D line. Some of them stay still, and Mushinski centers the disc for another deep shot that is intercepted immediately, as it is very low by Boška. Vosicek now with a high forehand, intercepted on the other side by the Polish.
Both throwers there just guilty of looking at the end zone and not seeing the intermediate traffic in the middle of the field. Both shots too low, and both shots swatted away, as this one underneath was looking to get in the hands of Kuharczyk. But there's going to be an appeal here for the strip. We'll get it again on the replay because it's right in front of the camera, and it's tricky to tell if he ever had control.
Kuharczyk is going to talk it out with Vosicek. There have been some ugly games, some windy, ugly games between Czech teams and Uprising battling out at EUCR quite often, but this was a quick and clean discussion, bringing the disc back.
Yeah, saw that they weren't going to come to an agreement, so contest it, send it back and get on with it, although there's going to be a violation. Just moving a little bit too quickly. All in good spirits though. And disc is checked back in by Kotler on the mark. Now underneath to these deep green shoes of Zhegorovsky. Uprising working a little bit more cleanly now, utilising that break space. That throw sails a bit, but well reeled in by Grzebita. Yeah, just trying to swing the disc back and forth. Kuharczyk back to Grzebita. Stretching the field and stretching those Czechs laterally as well, utilising the full breadth of the field. But this is good red zone defense here from the Czechs. Their Polish opponents not having it easy, fitting these throws into tight windows. There is Zhegorovsky, doesn't like the up line cut. A second one comes, still well defended. Oh, and a cheeky high release to get it into that window. It works to Dominik Dobronovsky. Still not quite in the end zone yet. Thinks about that little backhand in, has to go backwards. Can the Czechs continually push this assault back? Or will the pressure eventually pay? Here's Dominik Dobronovsky once more. Dobronovsky still not in there, and the Silence defense gets a hand in there and shuts up the Poles.
Dobronovsky just a little bit lazy with those backhands. He is, instead of stepping out for that forehand and really aiming it to the belly of the intended receiver, he just goes for the lazy lefty, and the defenders are baiting it. Boška now again with a deep shot. He has two players underneath. Can Vosicek run it down? Yes, he can. And he's not in the end zone yet, so he will return and find a teammate in the end zone for another break. That's unfortunate. The Polish did really well with them short passes, getting all the way in front of the end zone and then just getting a little bit too greedy on that last pop.
Yeah, it's tricky because you want to stay patient, but the more throws you take, the more you feel like you might have to force the issue a little bit in order to find that gap. And we're seeing here, just didn't. Yeah, he's clearly not in, but he was. But maybe he didn't realise it, so he went wandering a little bit, and then resets his feet back on the line to the end zone for the goal. What I will say is, The Uprising might be my favourite team so far for the simple reason of everyone filled in their player survey. And Dmitriy Doroshenko filled in the team survey as well. So full 100% commentator marks here to Uprising.
I I forgot the word. Pozdrawiam. Well, greetings to Mrs. Dobranowska and the two sons. I'm not going to show off my Polish anymore. We're just beginners with Benji with the Duolingo practice once in a while.
I was not going to mention them because they do not sponsor us. But if any language apps do want to improve ulti.TV's coverage, you know where to find us.
Exactly. More commentators from Poland, please. They find themselves on offense, and there is Milanovic again working hard for the O-line.
Yeah, it's on the far side of the field, kind of takes off up line. This is going to ask a little bit of the receiver in the backfield, but got more than enough underneath it to make a comfortable catch. Now low, and the muscly figure of Kołek makes the catch, one of Europe's top crossfitters apparently.
Ooh.
It's Vrobel. Vrobel goes around, underneath, caught by Dishko. Moves the mark enough to get that inside break off. Now a shot for the end zone is going to be caught for Uprising's third point of the game. And it is the aforementioned, the beast of Maciej Kołek.
Wonderful piece of offense there from Uprising, showing that they actually know how to play and they do have the right idea.
I mean, we've seen it this game. They're not a bad team, but they just made maybe too many silly mistakes, not necessarily in terms of execution, but sometimes in terms of decision making. And perhaps that's the fact that it's the third game of the day. Perhaps it's the fact there's a little bit of pressure playing as the home team that have counted against them.
And Silence did come out strong, but look at that wonderful deep straight shot just hanging in there waiting for the receiver. Yeah, but will that be enough? 3-6 currently the score in this late afternoon Slavic derby. And for now, we finally have a chance once again to see the Silence O-line getting ready to go. Great rundown of the pole to get there early. We see the sideline signaling the zone. Glacek wide open deep, but a bit too early. Halamek working with Bachta. Halamka, sorry. I always make the most mistakes on the Czech names and then I get made fun of.
I mean, on the one hand, we all do it. On the other hand, unlucky.
Because I feel like I don't have to concentrate that much pronouncing the Czech names.
So easily done, so easily done.
Glacek now faking the inside, but goes for the around, finds Strip on the far sideline.
Lovely throw to space, that one.
Glacek again.
Just sat it up there. Lovely to catch as a receiver.
Finds Halamka. And goes for the score himself. Yay.
So,
Silence holds.
Only one point away from half there.
That was pretty quick. 29 minutes in.
It is. It's a really fast-paced game. It's made it a real treat to watch, I think. Pol's already another O-line to send out there. Getting some instructions from the coach, Dmitriy Doroshenko.
So a potential point that could take us to half if Silence 3.3 work hard enough.
So the Polish offense just swinging it back and forth a little bit to start. More arrowhead look from this Czech defense. Again, just trying to keep it steady. Kulosiczyk. Back to Vrobel. There's an option on the near side. They're going to take Krolikovsky, and he drops it. He's not had his best game. Krolikovsky with those red thigh compression, no, not thighs, half compression sleeves, and it's going to give the Czechs a chance to break for half here.
And Halamka finds Januszka, sorry, not Januszka. Halamka in the end zone.
Yeah, it's Juraszek who finds Halamka in the end zone, and that's half time. A game where, you know, the Poles they did a lot of really good stuff, and then just made some really silly errors that they might be beating themselves up a little bit about. And Silence have properly punished them for it for the 8-3 halftime lead.
Absolutely, Benji. So that is halftime. We're gonna leave you with some highlights, and I'm going to just take a few moments to review the names of my compatriots that I usually, in fairness to me, call by their first names or nicknames usually.
Yeah, we'll let you off there, but don't go anywhere because we'll have a couple of highlights and some small advertising messages, and we will return for the second half with the halftime score. Silence version 3.3 at 8 and Uprising 3.
Hi, this is Vest. Me and my camera have been covering Ultimate Frisbee since 2012, and now I've been working with ulti.TV, streaming Ultimate Frisbee for you. And if you become a patron member, we can offer you more contents, especially those games that, you know, they are not live stream and they're happening at the end of the game. Half of it I can move and go in there and stream live. So become a member, go on ulti.TV.
Let's go! Let's go!
Welcome back to ulti.TV's coverage of EMUCC, the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships. We're in Poland and Wrocław is the venue. With more open Masters action here, with Silence from the Czech Republic taking an 8-3 lead over the home side, Poland's Uprising. It's Benji Rees in the booth. Alongside, I'm sure completely unbiased Czech colleague, Rachel Tosterova.
Thank you, Benji. And Silence will start on offense despite their big lead after the first half. Halamka working wonders, goes for the deep shot for Glacek. Glacek is wide open in the end zone. He's gonna run it down easy there. And yes, he will.
That is such a pass. I mean, what a pass. It's an absolute frozen rope for the receiver to run onto. I mean, that's the sort of thing where that disc goes up, and as a receiver, your eyes light up because you got the separation and you know it's going to hang there. So I mean, you're still going at a good pace, but you're not really straining yourself too hard. What a way to open the second half for the Czechs, and they're now tripling up their opponents at 9-3. Let's just look at this again.
Halamka, a CrossFit guy himself, once claimed that he might have the biggest calves in Ultimate.
I mean,
absolutely rips it.
I feel like there are a lot of good Ultimate calves.
Anyway, he usually he tended to be at the receiving end at the start of his career, but clearly he has improved on the throws as well.
And it's that compact, muscly frame. Here's Prosser. Didn't see much of him in the first half. Milanovic. Oh, a nice snag there behind by Zivalski. Dumping it off. Here's Prosser. And just going to bounce through and off the hands of Jacek Solitsky. So another, maybe I was going to say uncharacteristic turn from Uprising. Maybe generally, yes, but in the course of this game, I think we've seen a few of them now that it's not necessarily uncharacteristic anymore, and that will be a pick.
So, Uprising featured in EUCF 2013 and 2018 under the leadership of Dominik Dobranovsky.
Also, I've just found the result from that Uprising Volpatinga game, which Uprising won 15-13, but it's looking like a very different scoreline out there at the moment, with another break for the Czechs. So now they are up 10-3.
Like you said, in the meantime, Tomášek managed to get a score in the end zone despite the active Polish sideline cheering up their compatriots. We do have some Polish women playing in the mixed division as well. We might see them later on the stream. But like you said, a very one-sided game. Even though Uprising do look like they're fighting, but Silence was just a bit more confidence and precision, less individual errors, and that D-line is just looking for blood.
So you feel like, based on the previous matchups, these two teams pretty even, but actually at the moment, Silence have just metaphorically punched Uprising in the mouth, and they've had no answer. Jagorovsky.
I like that cut from him there.
A low slung hammer, couldn't be reeled in by Dobranovsky. Another break chance for the Czechs. Given the way this game is going, I wouldn't necessarily bet against them taking it either.
Vosicek now starts the disc off for the D-line. Working with Boschka yet again, and who is it towing the sideline there?
It's called in by Uprising, so that is another break. Just trying to see if I can pick out the goal scorer. Maybe Urban?
It wasn't Urban, but that's okay.
I was just trying to work out who it was. It's difficult because you lose sight of them, and then it's tricky. You see the shot of our one of the volunteers who always make these tournaments go so smoothly and have often a thankless task. So we try our best to thank them. You just see, putting that out to space on the far sideline, and a little bit awkward, but did make the catch. That looked like Langmeier, maybe?
Yes, it was Langmeier.
Some players from Woodies and Volpatinga watching in the bleachers next to our broadcast booth, enjoying the fact that the sun's coming out, and we're watching some high-level Masters Ultimate here from the Open Division. And here is Kovlikovski towards the sideline. Uprising are going to shoot this. They're looking for the beast of Kowek. Kowek makes the catch, but he's still not quite in the end zone. He thought about something spicy over the top and instead is just going to wait for the player to uncover himself and the window to open and finds Pavel Milanovic. I really butchered that. Milanovic in the back of the. I tried to put. I did it too fast. Didn't take my time.
You are doing a great job, Benji. As a Slav myself, I am absolutely impressed with your language skills. So we are gonna say hi to Ola, the wife of Pavel, and the little daughter Pola, brother Tomek, and his fiancée Sylvia, and parents Jacek and Beata.
I was confused about how does he have a wife and a
fiancé,
but of course it's his brother's fiancée.
The whole family is in.
I am very smart.
So a few more chances for the Polish to put up some points on the board, with lots of fans watching at home and here at the stadium of Pole Marsowe. Now they will have to work really hard on the defense. They could startle the Czech offense, given that they're pretty cold from the sideline and standing there for quite a while. Srb moves it to Glacek, and Glacek puts it deep straight away, and a high grab from Vavrusha will be called in.
It's always tricky from here because we have no perspective on that whatsoever.
That further sideline, we always celebrate the great grabs, and then it turns out they're out of bounds.
So it means you're a little bit reticent. It was some grab, and it was confirmed by the players on the field that that first point of contact was indeed inside the white lines. And that'll be silence well up now at 12-4.
And what has been the highlight of Vavrusha's ultimate playing career? Meeting all the wonderful people, including his wife, his best man, and loads of other awesome friends. And also, of course, the European bronze at EUCF with Terrible Monkeys mixed, and silver at Windmill with Czech Open.
It's meeting all the wonderful people, plus also that stuff I won.
His two small kids are watching, and he's hoping his wife is watching as well.
Called them future ultimate players. And, well, he's putting down a good marker for them to follow. Prosa finds an option downfield in the form of Zhivalski. Zhivalski will go back to Prosa here. The player in plenty of space in the middle of the park. That's where the option is. Wisniewski finds Zhivalski. Zhivalski shooting towards the far sideline and actually out of the far sideline. Another turn for the Poles here. Silence getting a chance to really put this game to bed almost before it, I say almost before it starts. We're nearly halfway through on the time cap, but yeah, Uprising, it just hasn't really worked for them so far today. At least not in this game.
Quite unfortunate. Urban will walk the disc to the spot where it left the field on the missed deep shot. With a wide pivot, he's gonna try to get the disc around, but out of reach of Kotrla.
I think that's maybe the first kind of unforced error we've seen from the Czechs. Just kind of made that little post box to put the disc into, and it went right the way through. So here is Uprising with the disc back in their grasps. What can Milanovic do? He's going to centre to find Vrubel. Vrubel down to the far side. Zhivalski chases it down and sends it back more into the hands of Milanovic. Milanovic to Vrubel, back to Milanovic, trying to keep the disc playing short here. Those more ambitious passes haven't necessarily gone their way. Golozhicic down the far sideline, and that's where he finds Milanovic for a goal for the Poles. It is now 12-5.
Milanovic, an absolute powerhouse. At only 33 years of age, he is right at the limit, age limit for the Masters division.
He is a young'un for this division.
And it shows, it shows. Sporting that scary half-shaved, half-men bun haircut.
It's distinctive, isn't it? It's a distinctive hairstyle.
Isn't there a Czech fighter in the freestyle or MMA, I don't even know what it's called, that has the little that has kind of the similar thing, except braided.
Maybe, I don't know. It feels like the sort of thing that they might have.
Crazy Slavs would do.
I'll be honest. I'm not saying that I don't think it is legitimate sport. I'm just saying that I genuinely find it difficult to watch. There's a kind of physical reaction to all that stuff. That
And it hurts.
I can't go on with. I mean, yeah, but then so does frisbee, to be honest.
Bachta centers the pole.
Especially when you're as unfit as I am.
The Polish sticking with their zone, but also counting the passes, maybe hoping for a transition later on. Srp, a lefty on the silence team, looking for Broisel and Bachta. Now Halamek with the disc. Halamka.
The risk of transitioning after a set number of passes is that you actually might be in a terrible position for it. Whereas actually, if you transition slightly sooner or slightly later, actually, it's a much more fluid mix. At the very least, you might not even be planning on transition at all, actually. It might just be counting there just to be a little bit of an annoyance, to be honest. And a lot of the time, it works.
Rzeznik now on the far sideline. Returns the disc back to Bachta. Oh, and then it gets knocked down. It shall not pass through the cup.
Yeah, try to get a little bit greedy, perhaps, in threading that one through to Halamka.
And another smart move, the Polish, with a very rare chance in this game to break the Czech offense, and they take a timeout.
Yeah, you're right. Those opportunities have been so hard to come by. When they finally get one, they want to make sure they take it. And speaking of an opportunity to take a break, we're going to do the same here, but don't worry, because our coverage of this game returns after these messages.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ulti.TV.
Welcome back to ulti.TV's coverage of EMUCC, the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships, where the sun is shining in Wrocław, and Uprising of Poland have a rare break opportunity against their Czech opposition, Silence, version 3.3.
Serotsky will start us off from the middle of the field.
Looking underneath, finds the workman like Koharczyk. Koharczyk goes back into the hands of Serotsky.
Almost in the exact same position where he started.
But they've got the offense in a little bit motion now. One of the problems with coming in off a timeout is it's a completely dead disc. So players can't start moving until it's checked in, and it's often a few passes or few seconds until there's any kind of real flow and rhythm to the offense, as that one down the sideline doesn't work its way into the hands of Skoropski.
An unfortunate turn for what could have been the push Uprising needed to get back into this game. Bachta now working with Halamka and Broisel. Now Glacek crashing the cup. Finds Rzeznik. Ooh, a great effort from the defender there. And another deep shot for Wawrusza and his two small children and wife and best man watching at home and cheering him on. Look at his happy face there. Good shot from Rzeznik, a bit difficult to read, but no issue for Wawrusza.
So the reason why this is a really good deep shot is A, it's in the cut. It's timed nicely, it's not too early so there's no space to aim at, and it's not too late that the receiver really has to bust a gut. and the cut, it comes down the centre of the field, which is what you like to see as a thrower, because it gives you a little bit more margin for error and more room to aim at. B is the throw, where the defender's positioned over towards that far side of the pitch. The throw's got a little bit of outside in, roll curve trajectory on it, that's taking it towards this near side of the pitch, this near cone, and that means that it's fading away towards the defender's break side, over their head. It means it gives Vavrusha plenty of time to adjust towards the catch, and the defender there just doesn't really have an opportunity to get there at all. Brilliant cut, brilliant throw, and it's 13-5.
Let's see where Rzeznik has brought his experience from. He's played Czech nationals with Prague 7 and Terrible Monkeys, who are, by the way, sort of merging, and European League with 3SB when we still played in the mixed category.
Yeah.
And also Terrible Monkeys, so he's had plenty of experience on different teams, different setups. And in the meantime, the Polish turn over, unfortunately, yet again, and the Czechs find themselves on the end zone line. Pospichal, or as he likes to call himself in English, Pospichal.
Yeah, I think he had the option there of maybe trying to toe that in the end zone, but thought, look, rather than do something silly, focus on towing in and drop it, I'm just going to make sure I secure the catch, and we'll just get playing Frisbee again.
And a wide swing to Tomášek, and finally Pospichal gets the disc in the end zone. And Silence just finding themselves on the verge of taking this game 15-5, really. Uprising really need to pick themselves up and try to make the best out of this game.
Yeah, Pospichal started playing not actually in the Czech Republic, but in Denmark as an Erasmus student, and then kind of continued playing it, and yeah, now based in Brno, and as such, playing for Brno and maybe the Czech Republic's top mixed team in leftovers. He is a videographer and photographer, so if you ever want to do some filming and photographing of Ultimate, Petr, you know where to find us.
He actually does really fun sort of videos, like video tours of different sightseeing places, kind of from a drone perspective and all that.
Interesting. I must say, I really want to go back to Brno actually.
Oh yeah, 100%. Join us anytime.
Or to be honest, anywhere in the Czech Republic. It's a country I have a lot of time for a myriad of reasons. So this could be the last point if Silence can break here, and that might well do it with the foot block from Langmeier. And I'm not even sure how much he knew about it. He just stuck that heel out there, and the cheeky back heel managed to get the block.
Vosicek picks up and will be looking to close the game, but Polish are not ready to give up just yet.
Prosser with the powerful pump fake. Sneaking this one down the sideline now at Uprising. This has a bit more rhythm certainly here.
Jegorovsky centers. Quick upline, a cut. No downfield passes for Prosser.
Prosser has to go back into the backfield. He's got Żabrita. Here's Dobronovsky.
Will he go for that lefty again?
No, he's happy to lose a fair bit of field position here with the dump to Żabita. Trying to sneak that one down the sideline, well left, little pop through, getting off to the races now, 1-2, 1-2, slows down now in the hands of Chris Prosser.
Ooh, a great break there, shy of the end zone, but they take it easy, or rather safe, with Żabita. Finally taken. Was that a lefty overhead? Regardless of what it was, Uprising stays in the game.
Yeah, it's Skorupski who made the catch. He's a tennis coach. Also was looking through some of the extra information on some of these players, because of all these names, one stands out a little bit for being not incredibly Polish in terms of Chris Prosser. Originally, although he's now based in Poland, originally from Germany, but played a lot stateside as well. He lists his sporting hero as American baseball player and New York Yankees legend, Derek Jeter, which I assume because he's, you know, just a great baseball player and not because he's got a good offensive output, but actually was incredibly overrated on defense. I say this as a Yankees fan, by the way. Derek Jeter's defense is not good.
So as the Polish look to add one more break to the score of this game, The Czechs get moving with another deep shot from Halamka. This one a bit more ambitious. Defender gets there early, gains possession, and even though there is a bit of contact with Vavrusha on the landing, 100% the Beast had a better position and controlled that disc throughout its flight.
Yeah, he's up there nice and early, clearly gets there, and there is, as you say, there is contact on the landing, but I guess felt it was incidental. The play had been made, didn't affect anything, and the turnover will stand. So, Uprising with a chance. Look, I know that comeback, it seems pretty far-fetched at this point, but all you can do is put in the next point and take it on a point-by-point basis.
I can't believe Milanovsky didn't take the deep shot there. Milanovic, sorry.
He's wiser than I.
There was so much separation on that, and now...
Here is the deep cut from... Oh!
And Vavrusha just takes it back from the Beast, knowing that he needs to redeem himself.
I think Kovac might be a little bit disappointed with that one, actually. Not because it was bad necessarily, but because I imagine he sets very high standards for himself, and he will feel that was catch, that was in his arc to be played, especially for a player who prides himself on monster Ds and skies.
I agree, but like I said, Milanovic was in a much better position to throw that huck, and he didn't. So. Now Czechs go the other way, and Glacek will try his luck with a deep shot too, this time to Halamka, but a clear height advantage.
From Kovac, but it is going to be a foul call and quickly retracted.
Quickly retracted.
The two CrossFitters go up against each other.
That's
and the
right.
Beast gets the better of him in the air again. Halamka didn't work when he put it deep, so he tried going deep himself.
They continue the discussion as the disc is already in play.
Yeah, his deep cut didn't work either. Here now is Uprising back on offense, going out low, leading Milanovic into space. Milanovic this time does roast it deep. He's looking for Kovac again, and this time he completes the bookends, and he skies Halamka for the double happiness.
And Halamka is just going to be so mad at himself at this point. We can see his head hanging low. It was pretty clear from the start that Kovac just distracted him with the discussion and then just set off deep. He sort of went to the middle like he was going to stay sort of in the middle of the field, not providing any cuts. And just as Milanovic got the disc, he just struck deep. And
if you're feeling slightly unkind, you could maybe call that the unenviable walrus there for Halamka.
I'm sure he's been called worse in his life.
Well, you know, it's the reverse bookends.
It is the walrus.
Well, you turn over
the
and
less known and less favored.
But also a lot funnier.
A lot funnier walrus. That's okay. The Czech O-line more than ready to go. Halamka again out there, picking his mental state back to where it needs to be for Silence version 3.3 to close this game. Reznik now offering an undercut, doesn't get it. Pachta finds Halamka, but a pick is called, I think, on Halamka from Milanovic.
Yep, Halamka knew it. Not necessarily all of his teammates did, but they've got back into position now.
Quick discussion on where the players need to start.
Sounds like there might be something going on in the Olympic Stadium over in the distance.
We see the lights on, that's right. What I thoroughly enjoy is the soccer players being punished and playing on the artificial fields. Well, see what happened downfield at all. Seems like he might have gotten stepped on or something.
So they're going to make that substitution. Brossier comes on.
That's quite a loss for Uprising there. Milanovic really doing a lot for the team to keep the spirits up and really fight regardless of the scoreboard and the big point difference.
Yeah, for both him and for the team. It's not too serious, and they're trying to sneak that one down the line. No such luck. Bushka gets a hand in. No, it's sorry, that's the wrong team. Zhagarovsky gets a hand in there. So Uprising are not going down without a fight, as you may have got from their team logo. Well, neither is Halamka.
Gets it right back. And now the Czech team knocking on the doorstep, but they will not pick up the disc quickly. Bachta will walk slowly to probably start a set play, set end zone play.
And, well, just take the poach and jam it in there, and that is game. Silence version 3.3 with a 15-8 win here over Poland's Uprising, and they were just so much more clinical than their opponents. Had a number of silly drops, silly throwaways, and when they look back on this game, they will know that they could have cleaned it up and run their opponents closer here. But Silence, hey, they took the opportunities they were given, and that is a big scoreline, really. 15-7 in the end.
Last point by Bachta, just popping the disc over to Preussel, who returned it to him immediately. So a nice leftovers Brno connection from those two players, as we see both teams line up and have a friendly round of claps. Like you said, Benji, a slightly better performance from Silence this time, but Polish surely, with lots of their fans at home and in the stands, will be ready and hopefully prepared to make their mark later on in the tournament against other teams.
Yeah, so we've got one more game for you on the stream, and we're going back to the Mixed Masters division with B-Fire of Italy taking on the Wizards of Ost from Germany. That starts at 20-7 local time, so just under 15 minutes time here on ulti.TV's YouTube channel. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick breather, and we will see you then for the return for the final game of the day of EMUCC, and the final score here, Silence 15, Uprising 7, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thanks for watching.
Abusco Electric, become a member.
Merci beaucoup. ulti.TV